Hi, my name's Heather. I'm 41 years of age and I was a fairly heavy smoker from the age of 15. When I was 15 years old, I think I had a boyfriend who smoked at the time, and that then led on to me becoming a full-time smoker ever since I can ever remember. Throughout my years of smoking, I had some days where I was smoking 10 a day, I had some days where I was smoking 40 a day. Depended on the circumstances of the day, but I got to the point where in my 30s I couldn't do anything without a cigarette. I couldn't start a task without having a cigarette. I couldn't complete a task without having a cigarette. I used it as stress relief. I was I'm in a sort of a fairly sort of stressful managerial position, and I used it as a coping mechanism. If ever I was angry about something, I'd have a cigarette. If I was celebrating something, I'd have a cigarette. My children for years said, please stop. And I didn't want to. I did not want to quit, and I could never imagine a life without smoking, without having it. It did get to the point, I was in my 30s, where I began to be concerned about my health and the impact it was having. I started to develop a cough, which got so bad I started lying to my family about why I was coughing, and I would conceal it as much as I could, mainly because I was concerned that I would just get nagged about not smoking. It was that bad that I wasn't even, the concern was more not even my health at that point. It was the worry that someone was going to tell me to stop smoking. It hit my late 30s and suddenly it dawned on me that I had to do something. My health was at risk. Something was going to happen. It wasn't just going to be a cough anymore. And at some point, and I think I was never really concerned about the health side of it before, because I started so young. I'd never known any different. I had to do something. So I knew Sarah. She was a friend. We got on well. I have to say, I was incredibly sceptical about having hypnotherapy of any kind. I'm not someone who thought that would work, and I certainly didn't think it would work on someone like me who smoked so excessively, and B, didn't really want to quit for the reasons that people might traditionally decide to stop smoking. Anyway, it was time to do something about it. So I had an initial conversation with Sarah. She wanted me to find my reason to become smoke-free. So I decided, I ruled out the fact it wasn't a health thing. I didn't do it for those reasons. There wasn't even a member of my family that I was doing it for. I had to find a reason why I wanted to do it, because otherwise I'd continue to not to want to do it. And I discovered that mine was, I wanted some time back in my life. I worked out that I spent approximately 4 hours of my day, every day, doing something smoking related. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time out of the day, and a huge waste of quite a significant portion of my life that I was spending either smoking or rolling cigarettes, or turning up to places early because I panic about not being able to have a cigarette if I didn't, leaving places plenty of time to it. Just the list is endless. I didn't stop smoking when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was concealing it. So for me it was time, and it was time to do something about it as well and get some time back. The session with Sarah was very, very relaxed. Sarah's got this fabulous way of making you feel at ease, and I did go in there nervous for so many reasons. One, because I was quite frankly absolutely petrified at the thought of not smoking, because I didn't know how I would be able to carry out my daily life without having cigarettes involved. And I was never, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the other side was going to look like. But Sarah was very, very good at making me feel completely relaxed about the situation. And she talked, and I talked. At this point, it was almost like, it feels like a bit of a blur now, but I did feel incredibly relaxed through the session. I walked out of that session nearly 3 years ago, and I've been smoke-free since. I haven't touched a cigarette. I, at no point in the last 3 years, coming up 3 years now, I don't miss it. I don't miss it. It's just brought so much joy to my life to not smoke. The feeling is indescribable. Very, very quickly, I noticed a difference in my skin. I noticed a difference in my taste, in my energy levels. My cough, I don't, it's not there. That went. And, you know, whilst I experienced some normal side effects of not smoking, at no point was having a cigarette an option. I've told so many people about what's happened and what I've experienced and what, you know, the incredibleness of coming out the other side of it and being completely smoke free and having that time back. I'd highly recommend it to anyone. If you have a single doubt in your mind about, you know, pursuing, seeing Sarah about not smoking, don't have a doubt about it. It's the best thing I've ever done. It's gained me my time back, it's gained me my health back. There are so many things that you don't realise that are an issue until, you know, until you become smoke free. I hug my children and I don't have to worry about the fact that I smell of cigarettes. I think you get to live in the moment more in so many areas of your life because it's not revolving around smoking. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's completely changed my life in every single way possible, in such a positive way, and I will forever be eternally grateful to Sarah.